Well, hey guys, Christmas is around the corner here, and I want to give you a little bit of a preview of what the board's going to be looking like for this holiday season. All this is technically subject to change, but been talking with Gabby and been kind of working on the board, and this does seem to be the best layout we have so far. So we have a drum line for Christmas, as well as a lot more vocalists and a couple of elements. So we redesigned the board, and we'll probably keep it that way past into 2018, but I want to give you a bit of forecast of what we're going to be dealing with here. So kind of like what we did last Christmas, for those of you who are with us, to make sure we had enough mics. We're only going to be using one overhead for drums during Christmas. So we will be doing a drum line. So channel 1 that would be overhead has been unlinked. It's now the drum line. It's going to be using an omnidirectional mic, and so we'll have to mix that, although we did copy the settings over from our regular overhead mics over to that. Then we have our drums overhead, kick. We removed snare top and snare bottom. Initially when we did the board redo, we thought that that would be something that we would be adding to it in the short term. It turns out probably not going to be that way for a while. So to remove confusion, we just made it a snare. And right now we've been only running 2 toms with our new drum kit, so we had a tom 3, so we got rid of that. So it'd be tom 1 and 2. Then we have our drum pad. Then we have our bass, and then we have 3 guitars, right? And then 2 acoustics, a backup channel, and then keys on our first page here. And on our DCAs have not changed. They're the same ones, drums and bass as one, electric guitars, keys, tracks, band, worship leaders, background vocalists, PC, and MCs. Now, on the second page, little things have changed as well. To remove confusion, we will eventually be expanding tracks to have left and right tracks and click and track all to be separate. But for now, we just go in ahead and blank those out to remove confusion there. We have tracks and click and MD. Worship leaders 1 through 6, that's nothing new. Now we are also having a chorus. We're going to be using 2 overhead mics for them, so we have chorus there. And then we bumped our MCs over next to the headset. So that's the big changes for the soundboard for Christmas. It's actually not that much change. We try to keep it in line as much as possible. So that's part 1 of this update. The next thing we want to talk about is in-ears, which this visual doesn't really help you because it's kind of hard to see here. But we've actually expanded our in-ear alliance to actually have 16 in-ears now. Initially we had 8. And for Christmas, we've already done the back-end programming on our Stagebox to have 16 lines, okay? That's going to be a major benefit for our vocalists and our musicians because it's going to give them a lot more playroom. They're not going to have to split cables and whatnot. We've also bought a bunch of extra cabling and power for Christmas and into NX, so we should have plenty of cables for every single line we're running plus extras. The board update, will probably do a run of this for future night this Sunday. At least if we get the hardware in, because we got to get some patch cable, TRS patch cables in to make the final patches. But we're definitely going to be trying out the new in-ear lines for the future night. Again, it's not really going to impact you as a sound engineer because that's going to be more on them, and I'm going to be doing all the wiring for it. But I just want to make sure you're in the loop there. The only other thing that is kind of different here, I'm now going back to the Behringer board here, is our aux lines. We did change one thing. You're going to notice over here we now have PC click and we also have PC mono. Okay, what we're doing is with our countdown videos and with some of the openers we're going to be doing, we wanted to have the ability to send our guys click along with those. So what we did is we delinked these, and the computers now, when there is clicks, will be pushing out of here, and then the right channel is going to be mono. Okay, they've already been panned and set up and delinked. It's all good. One thing I want to know though, unlike the click channel that's all the way down, the way we're having to route this to their ears makes it in such a way where when I'm going to show you how we route it, long story short, PC click needs to stay at 0. Okay, it's not going to go through the house. We were able to keep it out of our house mains here, but their in-ears are actually post fader, and I'm still working with Chad to figure out how to make that not a problem maybe for next month, but right now that's the routing. To kind of show you what this looks like for them, I'm going to actually move the camera and then I'll show you the buses. So here we are. As you know, we have our buses here. We have our TB backup vocalist miscellaneous front of house click, TD mix, which is for me if I need it, pro presenter, and our recording channels for future. And then we have some extra goodies over here. We're focusing 1 through 8 here. The 2 specifics we want to look at is the miscellaneous channel and front of house click. So whatever we send to these from our regular 32 channels, including auxes, will then go into our vocalists and our musicians' in-ears. So when you click the front of house click and go to send on fader, the only thing that actually is pulled into that right now is PC click at 0. So essentially, as that channel left comes through the system and they turn up this slider in their personal mixer, the PC click left will come up, so they'll get click that we can send from front of house. Really good feature. E-miscellaneous, seeing as right now they can control the MC's volumes, we've instead added, we took the MCs out of that and just put in the aux inputs, the PC click, the aux ins, the PC mono, and the local channels. That way, as we add more elements to them, that miscellaneous channel can be for all that extra stuff. So they can actually hear what we're pushing out to the audience, so they can have it kind of synced up in their ears. So that's the big change. When I say big, it's not that intense, but it is kind of a refinement of what we've been doing. If you guys have any questions, please get with me, call me, text me, let me know. And I'm looking forward to Christmas. It's going to be incredible. Love you guys. Bye. Hey guys, quick aside here. With the way we're having to patch the in-ear lines for our musicians and vocalists, there is one little bit of a change that we're going to be going with. Our rack-mounted X32 doesn't have, the standard X32 has 16 XLR outputs, but the rack only has 8, so we're having to digitally patch those through aux lines and quarter-inch lines. So long story short, the 8 XLR outputs that are coming out of the X32 rack are going directly into, are being converted from XLR to quarter-inch and go into this first system here, this Pro 8. 8 channels, and those are going to stay exactly where they are. We're going to stay at 0 on the gain, and then neither of these selected, neither the mono or the other option there. Now the difference is on the second one here, those are going to be, and that's also all going to be for instruments, right? Over here is going to be all of our vocal components here. Those do need to have their mono inputted, because when you do the patching through the X32, when you're taking the signal and patching it to an aux cable, for some reason it's sending it out left, I believe. And to resolve that, once you put on the mono patch in here for the red, it resolves that. We're still working on finding out a solution to that, but it's in the software, and just because we're trying to speed this thing up, for right now, those channels will need to have the mono on. So it'd be real easy for us to, once we hit Christmas, to say, if you're a vocalist over here, make sure the mono is on at 0, and if you're a instrument player, just keep it not on mono. That's where we are for this in-ear mix. Thank you all for listening. Love you.